name is Mike Frank. I came to Habilitat in 1973. My dad was military, he was Air Force. We came from the mainland, moved to Hickam Air Force Base. I was 10 years old at that time, and as I started going through my teen years, I started getting messed up with some of the wrong people. I was the oldest of 5 kids. My mother and father were having troubles. It was a pretty dysfunctional family life that I was involved with at the time. Of course, I was the oldest and took a lot of heat for that. Started acting out, running away from home, stealing, doing some drugs. My mom was just at her wit's end. She didn't know what to do with me. I knew I needed help. She knew I needed help. Didn't know where to turn. She had heard about Habilitat. So off I go to the induction center at that time was in Waikiki. The very beginning stages of Habilitat was Vicky Marino, Lynn Weiss, Kenny Malabon. And they didn't want me to come in the program. They weren't sure that me being 15 years old that it was going to work, because most of the people there were a little bit older, a little bit more, I won't say hardened, but a little bit more experienced. And basically I was a lonely, lost, young 15-year-old kid, scared out of his mind. And I kept showing up every day at the induction center, and I guess proved to them that I did need help, and I wanted help. I don't know what kind of help I was going to get, but I did. And finally one day they said, okay, you're coming in the program. What that totally entailed, I had no idea. I mean, they kind of prepped me for that, but I wasn't sure. So they loaded me up in the van, said goodbye to my mom, and made the drive over the Poly lookout and onto the grounds of Habilitat. And lo and behold, I get here and they run a house band. And so, rude awakening, sitting in the living room there waiting to be inducted, officially inducted. And that was 40 years ago. I think Vinny and Vicky at that time became like my mother and father. And what they taught me, more important than anything else, was about family. And that's what Habilitat was about, was family. That was our whole premise of how we were going to help people. And it was probably one of the greatest times of my life. Wasn't easy. It was probably the most difficult thing I ever had to do. But I was in a family, and different people from every walk, every color, every nationality. Tough love, tough love. I dropped out of high school, got my GED here, graduated on time. Taught me the core values of why I'm here today, 40 years later. Family, self-respect, honesty, integrity. You're accountable for all your own actions. It took 3 years to graduate from the program. Graduated, moved on in life. Got out of Habilitat, got myself a job, got married. It wasn't easy. Just because you graduate from Habilitat doesn't mean that the magic switch is flipped and you're all set. I mean, every day there's another demon getting ready to come at you, some kind of obstacle. And I stumbled a few times, more than a few times. But thanks to what I learned from Habilitat, I was able to pick myself back up and move on. And I finally realized that I needed to leave Hawaii. I needed to get a new, fresh start. And I ended up joining the military. I joined the Air Force, taught me a trade, stayed in there for a few years, and I ended up settling in Florida. And still, it wasn't easy. Every day there's something. If you let yourself, you can fall right back into the same things you were doing before. It's that simple, in the blink of an eye. Coming back to the family thing, I realized I needed to surround myself with the best people I possibly could. And I made a lot of friends. I stayed away from all the negativity. I built myself a nucleus of people around me, and that became my next family. And to this day, that is my family. And I've worked hard. Won't say that I'm out of the woods 100%, but I think I am. I think I'm pretty successful at what I'm doing right now. I'm happy. And every day I still use the tools that were given to me by Vinny and Vicky and by Habilitat Family. You know, I look at myself every day in the mirror. I know that I'm the one that matters. I'm accountable to me. Can't blame anybody for anything. Life is good. I'm back here today, 40 years later, and man, has this place changed. Back in the days, it was the Bigelow estate. It was pretty primitive, but I think that was a good thing back then. And the staff here now have done a tremendous job, and I can tell that times have changed. You know, the drug scene has changed. The type of drugs that people are doing these days is totally different, totally radical compared to back in my day. And it takes different methods of treatment. But from what I can see, Habilitat is still very successful. Saved my life. Definitely saved my life. Well, living in Florida, I didn't really run across too many people that were from Habilitat. But of course, with the advent of modern technology and social media, and we have a group of Habilitat graduates that are in pretty much constant communication through Facebook. It's a closed group. It's all graduates. And that's opened up avenues beyond my belief. I mean, you know, I never would have believed that I would be in touch with the people that I grew up with. And it's a blessing in disguise. And every day I'm on Facebook, and people are, you know, it's my family, you know, and it's great. It's awesome. And, you know, last night I had dinner with a bunch of graduates from Habilitat, and they were all saying how lucky they were that they made it and some of the other people didn't make it. And I said, yeah, but then I got home, and today I was thinking, I said, I didn't get lucky. I got lucky to be introduced to Habilitat, but I didn't get lucky. Luck didn't have anything to do with me making it. You know, it really did. You know, I made it with the tools that I learned from Habilitat. And I really feel that way. Blessed, very blessed. Well, I totally believe that it has to be a long-term solution. Totally, 100%. In Florida, most of you know, is one of the biggest drug states in the United States. There's pills everywhere. The town I live in is the OxyContin capital of Florida. And there are all kinds of treatment programs. My friends' kids that I've seen since they were little kids growing up, you know, doing OxyContin, stealing from their families, stealing from their brothers and sisters, just, you know, totally out of control because of the pills. And the parents who can afford it are putting them in treatment facilities, but they're 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. They come out, the strong ones come out and they do all right for a while. The weak ones are usually right back at it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times they relapsed. And they come out and they just don't, they haven't gotten it yet. I mean, you know, you have to be broken down. You have to be broken down to the base of your existence, and then rebuilt and taught and grow back up. And these treatment programs in Florida, especially the ones I know of, they're coming out. It's okay to go have a beer. It's okay to do, you know, go hang out with your buddies that are still doing it. And you're set up for failure. Definitely set up for failure. And you know, the success rate here has always been very high. I know that because I keep tabs on that type of things, and it's because it's long term. You know, it's a long process. Education. You have to be educated. And thank God that it was long term. I've thought about this for the last year because I knew I was going to be here, and I have to use one word, and it's integrity. I'm a man of my word. People know I'm a man of my word. They know I'm honest. I'm real. You know, when I tell them I'm going to do something or I'm going to be something, that's what I'm going to be. And I learned that here. Self-respect, integrity. They all go together. Honesty, integrity, self-respect, hard working, integrity. You know, we had the old Bigelow estate, which was an old building back then. It was a beautiful building, but it was an old building. We had the fish ponds. We had the outlying barracks for our dormitories. And then we had the grounds, and the grounds were big. And that's all we pretty much did was take care of the grounds. You know, we raked and we did landscaping. We started having our outside companies, but yeah, most of it was right here. And I walk in today and it's night and day. I mean, it's all brand new facilities. There's a real importance placed on physical fitness, exercise. They have a aerobics room, they have a weight room. You know, we didn't have any of that. You know, we got up and did jumping jacks and, you know, stretching, and that was about it. Do you still have morning meetings?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you know, we had morning meetings and then we were off to work, you know. But yeah, the physical facilities are just unbelievable, unbelievable. I left here, I graduated in 1976. So it's been 36, going on 37 years.
How does it feel being back over there?
Overwhelming. I made the drive over tonight on H3, which H3 wasn't here when I was here. And the memories just started flooding through my brain. I mean, I've been thinking about coming back, and I didn't really think about what I was going to say, but the memories, they kept, and when I hit that tunnel up there, it was like unbelievable. Just everything started going through my head. And when I made the drive down Waikalua Road, I was like, I remembered the van ride when I came from the induction center. I told Jeff this earlier. I remember the song that was on the radio. You know, it was Eric Clapton's "I Shot the Sheriff," and it just all came flooded back. And I'm overwhelmed right now. It's a remarkable feeling. It's a remarkable feeling that I made it and I'm back. And I can come see what enabled me to make it. And I'm glad that you're still helping people. And it's evident, very evident. Two things that I would say. One is that was the common thread when I was in Habilitat is you have to want to change. There has to be some desire on your part. Okay, this is not going to be some program where you come in and you can escape and it's going to be easy and you're just going to walk your way through it and boom, I'm out. Okay, you got to want to change because it's not going to be easy. I think it was a little bit harder back then because me and Jeff talked about that. Vinny and Vicky were they were hard ass. Okay. Talked about that last night at dinner. They were two different people, but they were hard. I mean, and that's why I am where I am today. Second of all, you got to trust the Habilitat. They know what they're doing. Okay, they got the staff in place. They've got the history. People have wanted Habilitat to change, to go a different direction, to go a little more clinical, to maybe go a little bit more on, you know, how the state wanted it to be run, and they refused. They've stuck to the same methodology, the same concepts that have worked for 45 years. Habilitat's been in existence, and it's still working. So why change? Why change? Number one, you have to want to change. If you don't, it's not going to work.